Good morning and happy Easter. As you can see, I've been on an Easter egg hunt and I found these bunnies and they were just sitting there. They were just sitting there with my name on them potentially, but as there wasn't anyone else's, I thought I'd go with my name on them. So I hope you have a lovely day today. The sun is shining here. It's a little bit breezy and a little bit chilly, but the sun is shining and it is a lovely, lovely day because it's Easter. And we can all get together, hopefully, or at least touch base with people a little bit more now. So let's just hope that we've got brighter things on their way. They look enormous, bunnies, but not particularly. I do recall a time when one of my sons worked for a very big supermarket, and his business was the chief chocolate buyer. Can you imagine a better job than that? The chief chocolate buyer. And when he left, they sent him a chocolate Lindt bunny. Lindt sent him a chocolate bunny in every size that they do, from an absolutely enormous one, which was bigger than this, to little tiddly ones like that. All of them, and a tray of 24 of these. Anyway, shame he left that job, but there you go. So today, let me get these little, scoot them away. We have got the April card kit. Now, the April card kit is a little bit different because there is a choice of two different things. So do let me explain. It's a super duper card kit, in as much as you get a lot in your card kit, but there are two choices. So before you all go rushing over to the website to have a look, do have a look of what I'm trying to explain to you to start off with. So in the card kit, you will get 3 dies and an embossing folder. So there are 2 choices in the kits. So everybody will be getting the following things here, first of all. So you will be getting one of the new mini paper cuts collection. And one of them is called Mini Surprise, which is a lovely little surprise package, I suppose you could call it. So that's that. You will also be getting one of the mini hoorays. So that's a lovely sentiment there to go in. Everyone will also be getting a star embossing folder. Now, some of them may vary, but they are all star embossing folders. And then you have a choice. So everyone will be getting in their pack some already of these cut out, but you have a choice. You can either have the kit all like this, but with this, which is the bow ribbon, which is a die, or you can have the kit with the banner. Now, there is no choice, I'm afraid, as to having, can't I have both of them in one kit, because I'm afraid I can't do that. So it is a case of either you have the one with the bow or the one with the banner. So there are quite a few on the website, but you do need to decide which one it is that you want. But they all come with the embossing folder, the mini hooray, the mini surprise, and all the card that I've got on here to show you. So let's pop those bits to pieces, which everyone will get. You will have the a white piece card. You will have, we're making 2 cards. You'll be having the 5x7 blank card. You've also got a DL blank card, because this is all for 2 cards. And then you've got a selection. Now, I'm sorry, this is going to be shiny. Let me try and get it so it isn't quite so shiny. Hold on. That's a little bit better. It's not quite so shiny now. So you're going to have a selection of reds and blues in both satin and gloss, plus some silver as well. Now, having said that, I'm going to be doing the cards in some of these selection today, but There are also all sorts of options for you to be able to use card that you have at home afterwards with once you've used the card kit. So it's quite a nice selection of all those different coloured cards, plenty of card to make it. You get the instructions and everything for the measurements. And of course, you'll always have this embossing folder. I'm looking at the embossing folder. Oh God, nothing changes, does it? You'll be getting this YouTube video so that you can always go back, listen to me wittering on, but you can see how we made our lovely cards. So without further ado, let us move on to the cards. So I've cut out quite a few bits and pieces already today so that you don't have to. I do want to get done the 2 cards, so I just wanted to make sure that we can get everything done. So to start off with, I've got my 5x7 card blank. So I just simply need to fold that, give that a nice burnish and get that as our card base. And then, now, as I said, you've got gloss and satin card in the blues and reds. So you can make an all blue card, you can make an all red card, or you can mix and match depending on how you wish to choose to use it. So I've already cut out some of the elements so that I can show you different ways that they could go together. So I've got my card blank and I've cut out a piece. I'm not going to take that off because that's shiny. I've cut out a piece of the shiny gloss card in the blue, and that's going to go onto my card base. And then I've taken the embossing folder and I've cut from white card a piece that is 10 by 15 centimetres. So that will give you this. And hopefully you can see it's a really nice embossed image, but it can be for anything. I mean, you could have it for a birthday, a celebration, a new baby, Christmas, all sorts. It's a really generic type of thing, but I think it works really, really well. So to start off with, I'm just going to pop these things onto there. I'm going to turn that over so that's not in your face too much. So did anyone else find any Easter eggs? Have you been on an Easter egg hunt? Gosh, I remember doing those Easter egg hunts when my boys were younger. I used to love doing those. But the good thing is that I still managed to find those ones that were there for me today. Which I have to say I hid. So it wasn't much of a hunt, really, was it? Now, when you are sticking onto a satin or gloss finish card, you do need to give it a chance just to grab, because it's a shiny surface, a coated surface, and it may well just wiggle about a bit much. So you don't want to do that. So I've popped that onto there, mainly to save your eyes from, you need your sunglasses on. And then I'm going to put that onto my card front like that. So that's my card base. Okay. Now, I've got a selection of all sorts of bits and pieces that I've cut out. So here is the lovely hooray. Hopefully you can see that, which I think it looks really lovely. Then I have got a selection of presents. So I'm going to do this card in blue. So I've taken some of the satin card. Perhaps I ought to show you like that. Taken some of the satin card for this lovely present. And I think that you can see that it's got a little heart there, which is embossed as well. But this wasn't embossed. I didn't have to go through it a second time. I just ran the die through, and that's how that came out there. Oh, just got to poke those little bits out there. Here's some of the gloss card. So I've got some in gloss. And that's my hooray, like that. And then I have cut, what else should we go for? I think we go for another hooray like that. Not quite sure. We'll sort of mix and match it like that. And yeah. And then I'm going to go for one of my banners. So let me show you how beautiful these banners come out. So I'm going to cut that out from my matte card there. And you can see that the banner itself has got a lot of detail on it. So it's got sort of 7 or 8 flags on there, but it's also got a lot of detail and a very pretty little bow at each end, which I thought was rather nice. So you can see I've already cut some out. I'm just going to pop that down. Now, when you're putting these dies, these longer dies, so that and the bow, when you're putting them through your die cutting machine, if we imagine that our machine is sitting there like that, and we would be putting the plate through like that, we do need to turn it. Because if you can imagine, if we're rolling it through our machine, it doesn't get a lot of chance, if we're rolling it through with the rollers going that way, to cut. You've only got a very small area. Whereas if we turn it that way, it's got a lot better time to cut. So we give it more chance to cut it properly. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop that in my machine like that. Pop the lid on, or lid, the other plate. You can just going through. So let me just show you how this comes out, which I think is really pretty. Hopefully you can see that they've all got little different patterns on. Pretty, isn't it? So that is our banner die. And as I said, if you choose to have either the banner or the bow as your kit, you will get banners and bows in both of your actual kits. So one of them you'll be able to do lots more of, but you will get some that you can choose and to use as your embellishments anyway. So you're not going to miss out. I think that's all the bits that poked out there, so that's good. Okay. So now, there are so many different ways of doing these cards, and I'm going to show you this way as I'm putting it together, but I've also got another choice for you in a minute, and I'm putting in a little sneaky bit here. Now, this doesn't come in your kits, but I did suddenly think, do you know what? This would be super for any age group. So if you decided that you have got a young man even that's going to be 30, how about getting your number dies out, pop that in as the number 30, and then you've got this fantastic card that's already shining from you. It's already done, and it's a super easy, quick card. So let's put some foam onto the back of that. Now I've got 2 different thicknesses, so I'm going to use on this one, this card, I'm going to use my 2mm. So I'm going to chop up some of my little bits. Now, obviously, I can't put it, I can only really put this foam onto the back where there is a solid flag on the other side. It's not going to work if I put it onto the ones with all the pattern. But in actual fact, if I put it onto these ones, it is enough to hold it in place. And I can squeeze a very thin one down to that end. So just going to pop these on, take that off. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue onto each of the back of these because I'm putting it onto an embossed piece, and therefore I want to make sure that it's going to stick because I've got an uneven surface with the embossed piece. So I do just want to make sure, and I'm just going to pop that down like that. So although I can't put foam on all of the backings, I've got enough for that just to make that to sit up right there. I'm going to pop a little bit onto the back of my parcels. And in my second card, I'm going to show you a slightly different way of doing the parcels. Whoops. So these can be done, you know, literally however you like them to be done. Okay. So I'm just going to put them random, and this can be a really young card. I reckon you could do a little one's card with this as well, you know, a second birthday, first birthday, anything. It really is a versatile one. So let's put the word hooray up there. Whoops. Another one down there. And then finally, I'm going to just pop some sticky specs. I'm using the sticky specs because it makes life easier for me, but you could use anything you like. And as I say, you don't actually get the numbers in your pack, but if you have got a number die set, it just adds a little bit of more choice to your card making there. So that's my making that into a 30 card. Could be for man, could be a 30 party invitation or anything. So that's one card. Okay, now here's one I did earlier, as they say, and this one was making the bigger parcel, which I'm going to be doing in just a second, and that will be with the bow, but I incorporated some of the red, so I've made that into a slightly different type of card there as well, and incorporated bigger parcels. Okay, so that's card number one, and as I said, you will get both of the cards blanks in your pack, which is a 5x7 card. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in card number two. Now, card number two is a DL card. So that's the thin cards, which seem to be, I think they're still all the rage. They are very popular. And I'm just going to burnish that. So you will get your card in your pack. Now, with that one, it's a bit different, and I'm going to show you how to make the bigger parcels with the lovely big bow. And I've actually gone even more differenter. That's good English, isn't it? Because although you're actually going to get yours in the red and silver, I'm going to show you it made in gold as well. So this is the card. This is the second card. And with this one, you can see that we've made a lovely big parcel. I have used all of the dies. And again, in your pack, you will get your banners and hooray, but it's just the numbers from the other one that I showed you just now that you won't get. So this could be, again, a young person's card, but I'm going to make this one into what you could almost call a, well, golden wedding celebration card. So let's make it into gold and see what we think of it in gold. So we've got our card blank, and we're going to take, I'm going to show it to you, but it's shiny, so cover your eyes. I'm going to take a piece of gold card, and that is cut to 20 and a half, I think it is, by 9 centimeters, something like that, or 20 by 9, I can't remember, but it'll be on your packet. And then I've cut a white piece that's going to go in the center. Okay, now I'm going to quickly pop that on because otherwise you'll be needing your sunglasses. So I thought it would be nice to do two cards, and to also show you that although you get the card, the silver satin and gloss card with your packs, it isn't that you can only just use it with that. These make a really lovely card no matter what. So this is the Craft Artist Vintage Gold card, this one. And so that again comes with the shiny, the gloss, and the satin. So you've got that slight variation, but it goes together really, really well. So that's my card base, like that. Okay. Now again, with this card, we can do the orientation differently. So we could arrange everything so that it's that way round, but I'm actually going to do it the long way round. And I have cheated a little bit because I've already cut some of the elements out. So I have already cut out my hoorays, and I've done one in the gloss, so the shiny one, and then I've done one in the satin, which is a beautiful, as they call it, vintage gold, lovely. So I've got those. Now, whether I use both of those or not, I'm not 100% sure at this stage, so bear with me. I've also, from my satin, cut out one of my lovely banners, so that's going to go in there as well. And then I have cut out a couple of parcels. So again, one in satin and one in gloss. And then I've cut myself out a glossy bow from the die set of the bow and ribbon, which I think is beautiful. Such a lot of detail on there, again, without doing anything. I haven't embossed it. All the detail is on there. And then I've cut out a small piece of the satin card, 6.5 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres. And then I have popped it into the embossing folder. Now, when you're doing the embossing folder, if you have a look at the folder itself, let me just grab the folder itself. You will see that the word Crafts 2 is stamped onto the folder itself, and that means that that is the top of the folder, so that's the right way up. So when you're putting your embossing, your card to be embossed in it, the side that you want to be able to show is the side that you would put that way up, so with the words so that you can read them. If you put the card in that way, you would get a debossed side there, which obviously on one-sided papers like this, card like this, you do want it the right way around. So I've embossed that, which I think looks really, really pretty. Okay, so my beautiful bow, how are we going to make that into our parcel? So it's really, really simple. Just need to snip it a little bit. So taking my scissors here, I'm going to position it so that my bow is more or less in the center. If I popped it so that it was there, it just doesn't sit right. It needs to be in the center. Well, me being me, it needs to be in the center. So I'm just going to pop it so that it is literally in the center. So once I've got it there, I'm going to turn it around the other way, and I'm going to take my snips, and I'm just going to snip that there so that I've snipped that bit off, turn it round, and then snip that bit there. Then when I turn that round, I've got that in exactly the right place. And because we're using the satin and gloss in the same colour way, I think that just looks so pretty that it's still gold, but it just shows up beautifully. And the same with the red. If you use the satin for the actual present and then the gloss of the bow, that can look really lovely as well. Or I've got the silvers and that sort of thing as well. So it does look really pretty. So we need to make it into just a proper parcel. And with this piece that has dropped off, it is our waist, that is going to go into the center of my card. So again, I'm just going to place that in the center. And then I'm just going to snip that extra little bit that we don't need off. Okay, so that's going to be our centerpiece. So I'm going to pop some glue onto here so that we can assemble our present beforehand. So just pop a bit. I'm using glue glaze, but you could use any of your favourite glue. Put that on. I'm just going to put that into the middle of my parcel. And I do suggest that you do this part first, this strip part first. Okay, press that down so it holds. Then I'm going to turn my lovely bow over, and the only place that is going to be touching the glue is this line here. So I just need to make sure that I've got glue from edge to edge on there. And it does take a minute or two because I'm now sticking it onto shiny or coated surface. So I'm just going to make that so that it's at the top of my parcel, so that the top edge of my ribbon either side is on the top edge of my piece of card so that I've got, it looks literally as if it's on the parcel, making that into a lovely little parcel. And obviously, if you wanted to make different cards with this, you could make the pattern, make this part, the patterned part, bigger or smaller, because you have got, with the bow, you have got a lot of room either side to be able to use that if you wanted. So that is going to go pride of place there. Now, one other little trick that I wanted to show you with these parcels before we put them all together is, as you can see, they've got a little tag. Yeah, so they've got a little tag with a heart in. So I just want to take a little slither of card. Oh, if I can grab hold of it. Now, the little slither of card is 1.3, and I know it's fussy, 1.3 centimetres wide. And that just fits behind there. Okay, and then I need it about 2.3 centimetres long. So I'm just going to take that, and 2.3 centimetres is about there, and another one there. So you could use any colour to go behind here. I'm using white, but you could make this strip into any colour. You could make it into a coordinating colour. You could put shiny behind gloss, shiny behind satin, satin behind shiny, all sorts of different ways to make this look a little bit different. So then if we turn our parcels over and just pop a little bit of glue just onto the heart section, we don't need to worry about all these little lines down here. It will stay in place. And then carefully pop that on the back so that it covers the parcel, but that we can't see it through the lines there. And then that way it gives you, I'll show you in a second, gives you that little white tag that's there already. Not the ideal one to show you, is it? Oops. That one looks better to show you. So you can see your little white tag. But as I said, you could have chosen any colour there. And again, that makes that look really lovely just on its own. So now let's pop our card together. So I think we're going to put some foam. I'm going to put some of the thinner foam, some of the 2mm on the back of my biggest parcel. So just pop some of that on. So these cards are just really super easy to do. The gluing is easy, is it not? You just get in a pickle, do you? Or is it a pickle with this glue, with the wet glue, or is it a pickle with the what's it called? The sticky specs or something? I'm not quite sure. Just going to put some on here. Now, I want these little parcels to sit uppermost as well. So I've got to be a bit canny with the way I'm going to do that. Oh, the sticky specs. I'll show you how to do that in a second. The reason being that if I put just one piece of foam on the back of there, they're just going to sit, and I want them to be sitting up. So subsequently, I've got to just think about it, and I've got to put one piece of foam on the side that will be on top of the parcel, so there and there, and two pieces of foam on the other side, and then that's going to make it sit uppermost. So if I turn that over, you'll see what I mean. So if I do one that side and one that side, but then on the other side, oh, let's get it in the right place, put two pieces, then they will sit up. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So any glue then, Teresa, not just that, any glue. Do you know, I think one of the things about putting the glue on is that people put too much on. you know, you don't need to put half your bottle on, and neither do you have to put it everywhere. I mean, if you've got a decent glue, if you're using something like Pritt stick glue or the that type of thing, then yeah, you do need to put a fair amount on. But if you've got a half decent glue, then you will find that it will be fine. So do you see what I mean now? Hold on, let's shoot all this off. That now, because I put one piece of tape behind here, foam tape behind this bit, oh, it's shining in there. One piece of tape behind here and two pieces by there, I've now got an even elevation. Oh, look at me. You can't beat an even elevation, can you, eh? Especially on an Easter Sunday. Right, so extra little bit of glue on here. Like that. Turn that around, and then so I'm putting it half on the parcel behind and half off. Yeah. And then we're just going to put, so I think I'm going to go with my banner there. And then I think, what do you think? 1 or 2 hoorays? Oh, it shines so much. 1 or 2 hoorays, what do you reckon? I should keep that to one side whilst I'm putting a bit of foam on. You tell me whether there should be 1 or 2 hoorays. 1. Ginny says 1. I think 1 actually. Oh, Shirley says 2. 2, 1. Oh, blimey. Well, you didn't help me any, did you? You're supposed to be helping me. The good thing about this is you could also add lots of other sentiments and make these into really such a versatile card. I just love all of the little elements of it. I suppose I would love it just as well I did, really. Just as well I did. And again, you can see that I've only put foam tape onto the back of some of it because with an extra little bit of glue, there will be enough to stay there. Okay. And again, if you wanted to make this into a golden wedding card or something, you could add the word 50, or you could add some hearts, or you can find a happy birthday from your own stash, like so. I think I'm going to go with that way. Right, so how do we go with popping these on? So this is my sticky specs. Now, let me show you how I would recommend that you put it on. So this, just to remind you, the sticky specs is a sheet. This is a carrier sheet, so there's no glue on this piece, but on this piece here, there are millions of tiny, tiny little glue dots, which the idea is that you put a sentiment or a tricky, shall we say, detailed piece of dye like that, and then you can apply your glue in all over the place, as opposed to trying to get yourself in even more sticky fingers in order to do it. So after a while, obviously as you put this on, it picks up the glue dots, so the glue doesn't remain on there forevermore. You do need more as you go. And I'm just checking where I think there's plenty of glue, which is down here. So you pop that so that the good side is up. You don't want glue on that, you want glue on the back, and you put that down like that. Then you take your carrier sheet and you press onto your die to be able to get the sticky dots from behind to stick onto the back of your die. Now, this is probably the part that everybody gets mixed up, sticky with. Am I right? Possibly. So, in order to do that, take off your carrier sheet, and then from behind, so I'm holding it here where there's nothing sticky whatsoever, and from behind I'm just putting my fingers into the back of the die, if you see what I mean, and pushing the paper away from it. Let's bring it up there. Can you see what I mean? So I've pushed the paper away from it. So the only bit that I've got sticky is my finger there, my thumb. Right? And then if I just push my fingers from the back and sort of roll the die away, I can then take that all off. I've got lots of sticky glue dots all on the proper side. If I was not familiar, what's the word? A lot of people at this stage would be using tweezers, and I'm afraid I just can't get into tweezers, so I do use fingers. And yeah, so but that's how I would do it. So I've got, you know, one or two tiny little bits, but they just rub off. And then that goes perfectly and sticks in all the right places. It does take a bit of practice, but I think that it's worth the practice, rather than, there's all sorts of other methods obviously that you could use in order to get your glue on there, but that's how I use it, and that's how I don't get in a pickle. I get in a pickle in many other ways, but not in that way. So, okay. So let me just bring in all these different choices that I've got for you, and then let me explain once more what we've got. Okay, so the ones that we made have been this one, which is a gold version, but you do just get the blue and the red. But obviously lots of people have got gold and silver at home, so they've got that as well. That's the DL card. And then we also did this one, which is the 5x7, and again done in a slightly different way, and I've just added a number there to it, but that is something that you might want to choose to do yourself. Put them up there. Shine, shine. Oh goodness, sorry. Then this one. So this one is a mixture of the reds and the blues that you are going to be getting. And I've got the large parcel on there and my 2 hooray. So again, a really modern male or female card, and doesn't necessarily say birthday. It can be for any reason. And then finally this one, which again is your DL card. And you've got that in the different choices as well there. So your card pack, your card kit will come, let's just pop these to one side again so that we can see your card kit. So your card kit will come with a piece of white card, your blank 5x7, your DL card, all these gorgeous pieces of card. It will come with already some die cuts, so that if you've chosen to have the banner as your die set with it, you will have the bow already cut, and if you've done it round the other way, you've got the banner already cut. It's all mix and match. You will also be getting your embossing folder, your hooray die, your mini hooray, your mini surprise die, and then depending on which one you've chosen, you will get either the banner or the bow and ribbon. Now, I'm afraid that neither of the dies are available as an add-on. It's just, I just couldn't get the stock, which is why I decided to do it as an either or. So I apologise in advance. I did think there are some other banners that I could get, but they aren't the ones that I've used today. So I do apologise. But yeah, so it's an either or. Okay, so as we said, lots to show you. Lots of choice today with your cards. You could make them in all different sorts of ways. So I do hope you have a lovely weekend. Now, don't forget, we have got Easter Monday tomorrow, and come 10 o'clock live, not on YouTube or anything like that, but live on the website at maximumcrafts.com, you will be having chances to get a few bargains. So I'm doing a little Easter sale. It's not a massive sale. But there will be mystery parcels, because everyone likes the mystery parcels, and there will be all sorts of other bits and pieces that you could treat yourself to. Why not? Other than that, I will be back on Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock for our next little session. Anything that you've seen today, or anything that you might need, are all over on the maximumcrafts.com website. You will find that these are on the Facebook Live section, but you will also find them on the monthly card kits. There is just one thing: if they do go really, really quickly, because I know I'm restricted, then I might do a sneaky little card kit a bit later on. We'll see how we go with them. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you have a lovely day. As it is such a lovely day, I'm off to take my dad out for a ride so that he can see all the lovely spring colours and things. So if you are trying to catch hold of me in the next couple of hours, bear with me, because I won't be around just for a little while. So have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.